Hello, twin flames, divine masculine and feminine, and outsiders as well on the twin flame journey. Welcome to my channel. So, I wanted to make a small video about certain things. So, I recently went on live and I spoke with a few people, and the topic was about a small handful of people that actually believe that everyone died in the year 2012 and that who you are now is a replica of who you were, and so on and so on. So we spoke about that. We spoke about, standing in that divine feminine power. We spoke about, feminism, or actually what I thought of it. And all the good things, what we expect of the divine masculine and what's expected of the divine feminine. So, as far as it goes, everyone being dead in 2012, I don't believe in that. We're still living, we're still breathing, we're still paying bills, we're still talking to our friends. It's no possible way. And to speak facts, it's not even enough people that believe in that topic for it to even be considered a theory. You know what I'm saying? You know how, like, twin flames, there's millions of people that believe in that. So, of course, it's definitely a theory. The Mandela effect, the same. Everything that has ever been a theory, a large amount of people actually believe in it, whether they have scientific proof or not. So, the small proportion of people that actually believe in that does not make sense. However, I do know that 2012, which is, I think, comes up to what, 5? 2 and 1, that's 3, 4, 5. I know 5 in numerology is about freedom and great change. So maybe, I'm not saying that that year was not a very specific year in our timeline. I'm not saying that it's not an important year. It could possibly be a very important year. However, I don't think that we died. In the live chat, I also spoke about world-renowned dancer Gerald Levy, which he's pretty much famous in certain parts of the world. He had these little snippets of words that he would say. And now, everything all makes sense that he said. One of the things that he said was, we don't take press. We judge our own concept. And it makes sense. You can't take everything the media tells you for word. We judge our own concept. So that's like me hearing about, oh, everyone died in 2012. And I'm like, okay, I believe it. Just because it's being said. You have to decipher what you believe in. You can't just believe in everything. That's how you fall for whatever. You have to set standards. You have to have, like people that believe in the twin flame theory, they have reasons why they believe in it. People that don't believe in the theory at all, I'm sure you have your reasons as well. Bottom line, you don't take press. You judge your own concept. So, that's all great. Another thing that we spoke about the divine masculine being a hunter and a provider, and the divine feminine being a homemaker, a beautiful wife, and a mother. I know I always speak about this, and it might upset a lot of people, or it might make people feel inferior as far as I'm saying, oh, women should dumb themselves down for men. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that that's how it should be. Because, like, if you think about it, mentally, like, I have brothers and I watched them how they would go to work It was like a no-brainer. They got up, they got dressed, and they just left and went to work. I watch how a female goes to work. It's like they have to mentally prepare themselves, do all types of things before they gather themselves to actually go to work. So it just shows that a female is not meant to do physical demanding labor. That I do not believe. Physical labor in the household, yeah. But harsh labor, like, it's hard. We're feminine, we're girly, we're soft, we're delicate. I don't believe it should be so. So that was, one of my ideals. Hope you guys agree with me. Even though society has made it really hard, give us a lot of bills, so sometimes we have no choice. So it's not like I'm saying, oh, quit your job, whatever. I'm just saying it shouldn't be that way. And because of this role reversal, that's why you have females out here speaking very harsh. Not that we all don't have different tones in our voices, but that's why you have females speaking like men, because they're starting to get confused. That's why a lot of females don't dress as feminine. It's not because it's not their style, it's because they're so used to doing masculine things. And we also spoke about, the divine masculine being a leech. And this is not me being disrespectful to the masculine. This is not me throwing a negative dart. It's just more like a lot of the masculines are really comfortable being a leech, like being a dependent on somebody that's more financially stable, like a karmic or something. But truthfully, that's not your stability. That's someone else's stability. So if that person disappears or something happens to that person, your stability vanished because you actually had nothing in the first place. So divine masculine, you really need to get your own. Like, get your own and stop being a leech. And this has nothing to do with me disrespecting your character. It's just like, yo, you have to get into that role of being a hunter and a provider for yourself and then for the divine feminine. It's just logic. It's going to be this way. It has to be this way. It should be this way. And what else do we speak about? Half the time I forget sometimes what I'm talking about, but we know that in everything that I try to talk about, it's always a lesson. It's always a lesson, guys. Like, why do you want to be the same? Did you really work this hard to stay the same? Whether it's a physical job or whatever, it doesn't even have to be a physical job. What if you, as a feminine, divine feminine, say before you never took care of yourself? Well, at least you never took care of yourself properly. And now you do. You start doing more for yourself. So, did you really work this hard to stay the same? Did you really work this hard to act masculine? No, you have to change. You have to be in that feminine role and learn about your femininity. Like I spoke about the 4 seducers or seductress women in history. Even though I told you guys that I couldn't remember all their names. But Marilyn Monroe was one of them. How everything that she did was feminine. And it had nothing to do with her clothes or if she always showed her boobs or whatever the case may be. Bottom line, she never spoke very loud because that's not feminine at all. A lady should never speak too loud. I mean, it's okay for us to have different tone of voices, but why should we be loud? That's not feminine at all. When a man is speaking to her, she says nothing. She waits until he's done. Then she speaks. Even down to her smoking a cigarette. She never lit the cigarette herself because that's not feminine. Even though smoking cigarettes is bad, but notice when she would put a cigarette to her mouth, guys would jump to light it for her because that's masculine. Guys doing something for the feminine. I hope you guys understand my ideals and how I feel about, standing in your role and standing in your power. Another thing that we spoke about on the live was like a male considering themselves to be a feminine, which I disagree with, but I also stated that I can't force anyone to be something, like however you identify yourself, I'm cool. I have no problems. But I disagree with it because I feel like if you're a male, you should be a masculine. If you're a female, you should be a feminine. And then in the twin flame scenario, if it has anything to do with the runner or chaser, why you're considering yourself a feminine when you're a male, it still does not make any sense because why can't you just if you're the chaser and you're a male, why can't you just consider yourself the chaser and not the feminine? Why are you so comfortable calling yourself the feminine? To me, this topic or this title only makes sense if both twins are of the same sex. If both twins are male, I'm assuming that one has to be the feminine. And to be honest, personally, I don't know many twins that have the same sex. So I'm not sure of what I'm saying, but yeah. I hope you guys can, leave a comment and tell me how you feel about all the things that I spoke about. I just want to hear some feedback, especially on this video. I would really appreciate it. So I have to go now. All the best, my lovely twin flames. And I will talk to you guys. Bye, twin flames.